Now, over the years, a lot of people have complained about the final level in Batman Arkham Asylum. This is because we had been trying to take the Joker down all night and basically had waited the entire game for this culmination boss fight. Not to mention fans have been waiting for years for a decent video game that had a boss fight of Batman vs Joker. And so when we got there and it was just a roided out monster Joker fight, well, it wasn't exactly the Dark Knight versus Clown Prince of Crime that fanboys had been fantasizing about. Now, personally, I never thought much of it when I was playing the game. I just went with it and kind of thought it made some sense, as the Joker would never stand a chance against Batman otherwise. But really, this is not the Joker fight that we deserve, or the one that we need. Now, in Arkham City, they try to change this a bit, and we have a giant Joker fight with him using dozens of henchmen to take Batman down. And while this is a bit more in keeping with how the Joker normally is in the comics, it still isn't really a boss fight. No, it's actually just one of the hundreds of fights that we have in the game. It's just a bunch of henchmen we punch out. I mean, there is nothing particularly special or different about it, other than the fact that the Joker is present in the fight. No, what we really want is a boss fight or boss level that takes who the Joker is into play and uses that in a creative way to give us a Batman and Joker fight that we deserve. Now, oddly enough, the Arkham Knight game does actually deliver this in a couple of ways, which is strange since the Joker is dead at this point. Now, I don't mean the levels where we fight the hordes of Joker clones, rather fight them in Batman's mind. It's a bit of a confusing level. And while these aren't actually bad, I mean, they could work if the Joker managed to Joker gas Batman, but still, I'm thinking of a few other levels. One is of course the one where the Joker-infected Singer plants bombs around the room and we have to disarm them. And we have to disarm his suicide vest as well before we can knock the guy out, all without being seen, or he detonates every bomb in the room. Now, this is so the Joker, as he always wanted to make Batman kill him, and creating a scenario where he blows himself up unless Batman stops him makes perfect sense. Although he would actually have hostages because otherwise there would really be no stakes. After all, Batman would still save him because he's Batman, but everyone else would be furious and wonder why he doesn't just let Joker kill himself. I mean, seriously. So this could work in a way, and it shows us what a Joker boss fight needs, and that is simple. The Joker can't fight Batman and win, not in a fair one-on-one fight. That would never work for a game. So instead, the Joker has to concoct a scenario where Batman has to do a series of tasks so that he can get to the point where he can attack the Joker, or defuse bombs to save hostages, and then he can finally fight and knock out the Joker. He just needs to do something before the fight to make it more Joker-esque. Now, a good example of how this would be is actually again in Arkham Knight. It's when you fight the Arkham Knight himself, Jason Todd, and this level is quite simple. Jason Todd has a lot of henchmen and obstacles that you have to work your way through before you can strike at him directly, as he has a sniper rifle and shoots you if you get too close. So you have to be very stealthy and very deadly. Now, this is actually perfect for a Joker-Batman boss fight, as this is exactly what a fight between them should be. Not in exactly the same way, after all if the Joker's up there from a sniper vantage point, it's not really his style. But it's the right idea, where he's got the whole, you have to take these guys out first, I've made up this crazy scenario, let's see how good you are, Dark Knight. And the actual hand-to-hand combat on this level is minimal. And it should be minimal against the Joker, because the Joker can't last long against Batman in a one-on-one fight. Seriously, it would just be like a one-punch knockout. So the idea of him working towards an attack on the Joker, working his way up so that he can get at him to strike him, like many video games have done before, well, that is exactly what a Joker boss fight should be. It'd be more of a boss level than fight, really. They could still end it on a hand-to-hand fight, of course, probably with a lot of henchmen and Harley helping the Joker, but the focus needs to be on Batman working to get at the Joker, rather than the actual fight part itself. Which the Asylum game does actually have, to be fair, as we do spend the whole night trying to catch the Joker, while he just slips away sowing chaos around the island, and we just can't get at him until the final level. But it just didn't have the proper ending where we fought him as the roided out Joker. It just wasn't really that, oh yes, this is the great fight we've been looking forward to for years. It was more just, that's an okay fight, but it's not really Batman versus Joker, is it? I mean, if Sherlock met Moriarty and then Moriarty just injected himself a load of steroids and they had a fist fight, well, it wouldn't be that good, would it? However, there is actually one other game in the Arkham series that does come close, and oddly enough, it's Arkham Origins. Now, most people don't like this game, but that's just because they even haven't actually played it, or they're lying. because the game is actually pretty good if you give it a chance. I know some people have to pretend they don't like it because their friends are like that, but the truth is, if you just give it a chance, it's fine. Sure, it's a shame that Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy aren't Joker and Batman, but it's still fun to play. I mean, it's basically the same game as Arkham City. It's really just a very big DLC. The game is exactly the same in terms of mechanics and playthrough, and while it may be the worst of the Arkham games, yeah, it's still a very enjoyable game, and a lot better than a lot of games that are being produced today. And they do a Joker fight both very, very badly and very well. Almost. You see, they understood that the Joker isn't much in a fight, so they have to have some crazy concocted ideas to make it more interesting, such as the Joker taking over a hotel and turning it into his own personal funhouse, complete with a Joker amusement park, which is actually a pretty great level. There are several puzzles to go through, which involve saving hostages that the Joker has put in deadly traps. It's actually quite reminiscent of solving some of the Riddler trophy things. And this is the kind of Joker boss level that we need. You see, each time you beat one of the puzzles, hostages are released, and then we should get closer to attacking the Joker. Now, on this particular level, we don't actually attack the Joker, but in the ideal game, that's what we would do. Solve a puzzle, save a hostage, then the Joker gets one step closer to a fight with us. We pursue him through puzzle after puzzle, scenario, etc., and we do it again and again until we have a showdown. That is what a Joker boss level needs to be. It needs to be a series of tasks, puzzles and such, and then we get to it. The Joker doesn't have powers. The Joker is all about presentation. The Joker is all about the scenario and setting things up. That's what he does. So it has to be the level that is the Joker. It all has to be connected. That's how it needs to be done. Of course, when you finally get to the Joker, sure, they have a fight and he could have a weapon or something to get an edge, or maybe Harley and the Henchman, that works fine. But it's all about the setup that really needs to be there. And Origins did get close. Like I say, they had some good setup, but they didn't really have the finish. You see, they don't get it right on the actual one-on-one combat. You just beat up the Joker in a cutscene, and he doesn't really fight back at all. And yes, it's actually a very good cutscene, and it's very realistic of the way the Joker would act. And it's very realistic of how Batman could just beat him up with ease. But we still do need a bit of combat to make it fun. Just punching him is kind of anticlimactic. Now in truth, they're probably just saving that for the final fight, and in the final fight of the game, we do beat the Joker in a boss level. But again, they don't quite get it right. You see, basically, we have to find a way to defeat Bane before the Joker is killed by the electric chair that he is sitting in. And the only way to stop the chair from going off is to stop Bane's heart, killing him. So either Batman kills Bane and the Joker lives, or Batman doesn't kill Bane and the Joker dies. Either way, one of them will die. That's the whole point. They're testing Batman's morality. Now, of course, Batman does find a way around this, as he uses his shock gloves to stop and restart Bane's heart. This is classic Joker Batman stuff. And they also gloss over the fact that by stopping and restarting his heart, he's probably giving him some massive heart damage, although to be fair, the amount of drugs and steroids he's pumping into his body, that's probably the least of his troubles. And we do then have quite a good heart-pumping boss fight with Bane that is definitely one of the better ones in the ArkhamVerse, or at least the one that gets your adrenaline going the most, short of that Killer Croc level. But then, as I said, the actual bit where we reach the Joker is a little anticlimactic, because there isn't really a fight, like, at all. We just button bash the controller, and then we punch the Joker into oblivion. And it looks quite cool, and does work as an ending, but we should have had a bit of a fight before that, where the Joker fights back a bit. That's all I'm saying. That's what a boss fight needs to be. This isn't so much a boss fight as it is just a boss beating. One of the easiest parts in the game. Now, the Joker's whole point is that he pushes and challenges Batman by making up crazy situations that Batman has to find a way to overcome without killing anyone, and usually by saving the lives of hostages. The Joker is all about pushing his morality and trying to see if he can get him to do that thing that makes him cross the line and finally kill. He wants to break Batman. And that is what the boss level needs to be. That is what we need to see in an Arkham game. Or hell, just any game with Batman and the Joker. Although I would prefer it to be an Arkham game, as I just love the gameplay. Well, I love everything about them. Now, if we could combine Arkham Knight's boss fight with the level in Arkham Origins, maybe incorporate the Suicide Vest Joker, and then when we finally corner the Joker, we follow it up with the Joker fight in Arkham City, and then we'd have, more or less, the perfect Joker level. That's what we need. That's what we deserve. And when Warner Bros. One day wakes up and realises that if they make an Arkham game and then just keep releasing DLC for it, they'd have a service game that continues making money forever, but also gives players the gameplay that they want and enjoy, well then we might actually get a level like this. As it seems for now, all that Warner Bros. Is interested in is games with microtransactions and nothing else. But really, I think that I speak for all Arkham fans when I say that if they would make an ArkhamVerse game and just release new levels and mods for it in exchange for a monthly subscription, then I would gladly pay for that, and Warner Bros. Will have a game that keeps making money forever. Just like Fortnite does. I mean, that's all they did. They made a game, then they keep adding mods to it, and people love it. There's no reason you can't have the amazing Arkham gameplay in a service game. I really don't see how they don't get that. And instead of just button bashers and mindless first-person shooters, all you have to do is put an Arkham-style gameplay, but set up transactions and monthly subscriptions for more content, which people would 100% pay for. If they said to me right now they're going to release some new DLC for Arkham Knight or any of the Arkham games, I would buy it. I would just buy it straight away. They don't even have to make a new game. They can use the same mechanics and everything and just mod it a bit. I would still like it. Even if it was just in the same levels, but with a new story and new challenges, I would buy it, and I am not alone in that. Or at least that's the way I see it, but what do you think? Is this the way that a Joker level should go? Or do you have a better boss fight in mind? Let us know in the comments, along with whether you'd actually pay a monthly subscription for an Arkham game that gets monthly content updates released, as the only way we're ever going to get another Arkham game is if we let Warner Bros. Know that we will pay monthly fees for it, since service games and microtransactions are the only thing they seem to be interested in right now. And if it gets me an awesome game that has regular content updates, I am very happy to do this. In all seriousness, I would have no problem paying a monthly subscription if I kept getting new levels and new cutscenes and new missions. I mean, that is just perfect. It's exactly what I want. And if that's what you want as well, then please say so. Let's let Warner Bros. Know what we want. And who knows, maybe they'll actually give it to us. And I'd just like to quickly remind everyone that we have merchandise available on our store, and to say thanks to all of you who have donated to the Needle Mouse Productions page on Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.